How should you pick your car? One requirement that I would put on my list is it must inspire me. If you're living in a house that doesn't inspire you, you're gonna live a life of resentment. If you're driving a car that doesn't inspire you, you're gonna live a life of resentment. Now, certainly there's other circumstances related to, the financial aspect and planning and doing things wisely. I'm certainly not recommending, you just sell, whatever you have and just buy things that inspire you. But I want to communicate that a key component in picking out a vehicle, if you're going to live full time out of your car, or even if you, have a house and you just want to downsize your house, or just a life lesson that I have learned. Your dwelling and your vehicle and your things, you should look at them and you should get inspiration. When you go home every day to a house that doesn't inspire you, that slowly sucks the inspiration out of you. And it slowly sucks the creative juices. It slowly sucks your passion for life out of you. I had a nice condo and I really did it nice inside, did a lot of remodeling for my taste. And I had a lot of pictures of the ocean. I had everything the way I wanted it. But it just got to a point where it was no longer for me and it wasn't inspiring me. And when I bought my Jeep Renegade, there's something so cute about the outside that it just inspires me. And it's it's not a big RV, it's not everything like that, but when I see it and when I get in and out of it, there's something about the look that just inspires me. And certainly you have to counterbalance that with the practical points of is the car roomy enough? Is your house big enough? Whether you're talking about a car or house. But I think a key metric is you have to be inspired in life. You have to. Without inspiration, you're going to be dragging your whole life, and everything you experience in life is going to have a sour taste, even the good things. Part of inspiration is a nudging, is something is nudging at your soul, trying to push you closer to your destiny. Now, certainly you have to filter that and make sure that you're not just being led by your emotions. And that's a tricky thing because sometimes you think, well, I was inspired to buy it, so I bought it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to promote reckless spending. But what I am trying to promote is that when you are responsibly picking out a car, whether it's to live out of or whatever, or if you're picking out a house, and hopefully it's a downsizing, because that's kind of what I do promote, is a efficient, downsized, simplistic life, and I want everybody to do whatever they want. But when you are responsibly doing that, I want you to be mindful that, yes, is it comfortable? Yes. Does it have all the practical things you need? All those things are part of your checklist. But the huge check is you have to be able to look at that car or that smaller house and say, does this inspire me? Passion and enthusiasm is a huge part of you living the best life possible. Yes, you need to have knowledge. Yes, you need to have self-control. Yes, you need to do things, logically through, proper budgets, etc. But there's also part of that equation that is inspiration. That just when you look at something, the way the curves of the car are, the way the RV is shaped, the way the house is, there's something inside you that gets stirred up. The look of something is important. I know sometimes people say, oh, that's vain, you just buy a car for how it looks, And to some extent, I understand, and like I said, it's wisdom. But to another extent, you have to be excited about a car you get into every day. So I wouldn't recommend buying a E250 cargo van to live out of if when you look at that, you feel like, feel like a contractor. I don't like that. If that's how you feel about it, even though it has all the room you need to squat and everything else, I wouldn't buy it. If you can responsibly not buy it and do something else, that's what I would do. If you're in a position where you're tough finances and you can't get out of where you're at, then don't do it, because I don't want you to make irresponsible financial decisions. But what I say to myself, how I live, is as long as first I'm doing things in priorities, meaning I'm trying to do things responsibly and not recklessly. If I've checked that off my list, one of the next checks for me is, does this thing inspire me? Because I want to live a passionate life. I want to live a life of enthusiasm. included with knowledge, wisdom, and self-control. Now, I know sometimes I get a lot of comments on videos, and sometimes a lot of from newers. People say, oh, your videos are hard to understand. You're always, screaming, or, this and that. And I understand that. Especially if you're trying to watch at work. You got this guy going crazy. But, my videos also, if you look at the context of all of them, there's different aspects of me in different videos depending on what I'm feeling at that moment, and I try to be true to myself. While also I try to be mindful that I understand that it comes across in a certain way in the video. But I want to be very clear that inspiration, passion, and intensity is part of what pushes you closer to progress. And people that don't understand it will be dragging ass in their cubicle, dragging ass to a home, dragging ass to a car that doesn't inspire them, and they're sitting at you, why are you so excited? And I'm sitting looking at them, why is your life so fucking resentful? And why do you have no passion? Why haven't you gotten off your ass for the last 20 years and done anything that's inside you? You haven't tapped into any creativity that you have. You haven't used any of the gifts you have. Instead, you're checking in, checking out every day. You're an assembly line worker of life, and you haven't fulfilled your destiny. And that's what happens when you don't have passion. You just go, oh yeah, talk to me slow and nice. You know what I mean? Then change my diaper. No disrespect, but that's how I feel. I respect and love to everybody, and I am not for everybody. And everybody's not for me. My core message as I close: when you are picking out a car to live out of, RV, travel trailer, etc., or even a house, make sure that in list of priorities, that one of those checks, after you do things responsibly, after that, one of the major priorities is does it inspire you? Make a mental note.